Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell to get notifications on my next upload. Today we're going into a story which I'm still not quite sure how I feel about it, if I'm honest with you. A 23-year-old man killed a David Gaunt. David Gaunt had just got out of prison after serving 30 years for killing and brutalizing a 17-month-old baby. I'm still like, I don't know how to feel about it, but let's get into the story and you can tell me how you guys feel. In July 1985, a baby murderer stood in the dock, receiving his punishment for committing the worst crime in the land. David Gaunt, a 21-year-old, was sentenced to 32 years after being found guilty of torturing and killing a 17-month-old Ching Ming Chek by fracturing his skull. He paid for his crime, or so he thought, and was released in 2017. But after going next door, Gaunt was brutally killed, stabbed 176 times by Ewan Harley. Harley, 23, had been horrified by Gaunt's past and wanted to chop him up and put him down the plug hole. His trial heard. He is now facing his own life sentence after being found guilty of this murder. The discovery of Mr. Gaunt's body left residents scared and uncomfortable. While Gaunt was found dead at Long Row, Elliot Town, last August, the murderer's roots are in another part of Caerphilly County, the Mornington's Meadows estate 33 years earlier. This is where Jane Pickle ended up moving to South Wales from Scotland with her Chinese waiter boyfriend and 2 children. The couple split up and became a tenant at the Dalweas with son Georgie and Chingmi, known as Marky. In December 1984, her new boyfriend, the unemployed David Gaunt, joined them. According to court reports from the time, it was an evening in February 1985 that he looked after the children while she visited a friend. After returning at 1:30 in the morning, Gaunt reassured her they were fine and she went to bed, laying in the next morning as her partner took Georgie to nursery. At 10 in the morning, she woke up to check on Marky, finding his cot broken and her son under the topless chest of drawers. Wow. Miss Pickle picked him up, put a nappy on him and cuddled him, wrapped him in a jacket for an hour. So this will be the South Wales Echo is another kind of like the South Wales Argus that we go through now and again. I knew he was dead because he was cold and stiff. I just did not want to believe it, the Western Mail reported at the trial. Marky died from a catalogue of injuries that included a broken arm, lacerated liver, torn spleen, and a fractured skull. He also had bruising on his legs, abdomen, and burn on his foot. Prosecutors described him suffering a series of assaults that could have included punching, kicking, and being thrown against a hard surface. Gaunt did not give evidence and gave various excuses to police, including blaming his girlfriend. I remember now when Jane came in from a friend, she gave the baby a pasting upstairs. My God, reported him saying, "It's all coming back to me now in the cells." When he said he was bruising on his legs, he claimed that Marky had got out of his cot and fell down the stairs. The murder took place while Gaunt was living in with Jane at the Dalweas. I'm sorry I'm saying that. Mornington Meadows. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. It was called the worst crime in the land by Mr. Justice. He said, the person you murdered was a fenceless little baby. On the jury finding you are not only a murderer that murdered that child, but also tortured him. Gaunt spent more than 3 decades behind bars, not long enough, while Mrs. Pickle returned to Scotland. When released in 2017, he settled 11 miles away from the crime. Now, see, this is why? Why would you put him back in the same area? Especially in somewhere like frigging Caerphilly, Newport. You know what's going to happen to him. In the heart of the Remin Valley. Oh, good God. Rows of terrace houses hug the mountainside around Elliotstown. Gaunt moved into a small flat. It was accommodation meant for over 50s, according to the residents, but he's seen younger people with drink and drug problems moving in. Police released footage of David Gaunt's last known movements, buying train tickets at Caerphilly Station the day he was killed. Mary Jones lives near where Gaunt was housed, close to David Osborne. He went on trial with co-accused Harley. It was there that Gaunt was murdered. Later, Osborne, who admitted preventing the course of justice for his role in concealing evidence about the killing. The kids used to play out here in the summer, but they don't now, she said. Miss Jones got on the wall well enough with Gaunt to invite him for Sunday lunch when he had no gas or electric. However, he gave a different account of his past. He told us that he had been in prison for shooting a soldier. I didn't ask much about it, Mrs. Jones said. She added, if he was going to the shop, he would ask if I needed anything. He did wrong, but he did his time. And I think he should have been, I don't think he should have been brought here. 100%. Whether I feel a little different to you, I don't think he served enough time. This was a 17-month-old baby. But I digress. But I do agree that he should never have been put back into Caerphilly. Ewan and the dock with the other David and Darren. The trial was held at Newport Crown Court. It was 3 days leading up to the death that the word started to spread that Gaunt's victims was not a soldier, but a baby. Now, in these areas, guys, you know, things like this really do not wash. Like, it just doesn't. Police found evidence that internet searches with the trial hearing were sickening and vowed to chop him up and put him down the plug hole. On the night he was killed, Gaunt received a text from Osborne inviting him around with some DVDs, but prosecutors said it was just a ruse. He was then stabbed by Harley 150 times while alive and a further 26 times after he died. His body was then dragged back to his own flat where his car was set alight to destroy evidence the trial heard. I just don't know how to feel about this. I really don't. Residents at Long Row has been reassured after CCTV was installed in the wake of the murder. Osborne's friend Daniel Evesham, 47, was found guilty of perverting the course of justice for helping cover up evidence. Harley was found guilty of the same charge. Evesham had earlier been acquitted of Gaunt's murder on the direction of the judge, while the jury cleared Osborne of the murder or manslaughter. When I heard what happened to David, I wanted to move away, said Miss Jones. We've had problems with druggies before. I just wanted to move then. Another resident, Barbara Thomas, said, I was quite frightened after it happened. I felt I had to keep my doors and windows locked. Sarah Davis, daughter was 4, and was left feeling uncomfortable and unsafe. She don't know if there is another people like him who have to be rehoused here. While CCTV has been installed, giving residents peace of mind, the killer cast a shadow over Long Row. For David Gaunt, he thought he had paid the price for his crime 3 decades ago and could start a new life. But Ewan Harley had other ideas. I just don't know how to feel about this. I really don't, because on one part of me is, yes, he's paid his he's done his time, but another part is like, why would you put him, knowing what his crime is, in an area like Caerphilly, Newport? Are you crazy? You're giving him a death sentence. You've just put a marker over his forehead saying, hi, I'm a child killer, come and get me. Like, what the heck? It's just crazy. I don't see how this can be like normal behavior. I don't understand how the probation office, the CPS, could think it was a good idea to put this man, this Gaunt, in an area 11 miles from where he committed his crime. It was only, 30 years ago. You know, people in these areas remember. They do. They remember. They're going, if they find out, you've got a target on your head. You've got a target on your head. Would it be to this degree? Maybe not, because people don't want to do the time nowadays. But you can guarantee shit's going to happen to you. You're not going to get off that lightly just by being able to be 11 miles from where you first committed your crime. Now, this is where I'm a bit like, I am a true believer in you paid the piper. I am. But on the same token, where kiddies are concerned, I don't know whether you've paid the piper enough. Yeah, you spent 30 years in jail. Like, is that enough to warrant what you did? You beat, you mutilated, you killed a child for then, like, is that enough time? And then you've got this Ewan Harley, he's 23. Now doing a minimum of 24 years behind bars himself to be, do I feel kind of bad for him? I do. I get why he done it. He probably got children himself, didn't want to have someone like that in the area. But again, now he's got to pay the piper and he's got to do his time. So I blame for this murder. I blame the probation office, CPS, for putting this man in an area 11 miles from where he committed his freaking crime, and you put a target on this man's head. Simple as. Yeah, I'm still no one the wiser how I feel about it, but did he pay his crime? Did he pay the time? Did he do the time? 30 years? Is that enough? Did it warrant somebody killing him? I honestly can't tell you that I feel bad for David Gaunt, because I don't. Do I feel bad for Ewan? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's have a chat about it. Again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.